Hey there, and welcome back to the Sticks plus Twine podcast. This is episode 32. This one is going to be all about the Edinburgh Yarn Festival and a little bit of Amsterdam. Let's get started. Okay, take 3. What you won't have seen, because I will not have posted that part, is every time I start talking, a siren starts running. Oh well, what are you going to do? That's living in the city. So, thank you for joining me. My name is Eric. I'm coming to you from my home, as always, here in Toronto, where I have returned recently, as of not even 24 hours ago, from the Edinburgh Yarn Festival and from a little side trip to Amsterdam. So, clearly, we've got a lot to talk about there, but we're also going to talk about the Everybody Loves Pi KAL. We're going to talk about status report. We're going to talk about my trip. And everybody's most look forward to portion, especially after a good yarn festival, is the haul. Let's get started. So the first KAL I want to talk about is the Everybody Loves Pi KAL, which is closing today. Today is 3.14, March 14th, also known as Pi Day. And today's the last day of our Pi Shawl knit along. So I am not closing and announcing right this very second because you still have a couple of hours to go. So what I'm going to do is when I close the KAL, I will draw the winners and I will post it at the end of this segment. So stay tuned. I won't forget about you, I promise. And thank you to everybody who participated. I myself was a big fail. I did not actually get mine done because I got so many other projects that distracted me. And then I got into socks and wanting to do all the socks. And then I found Michele Wang's Radmere sweater, which we'll talk about in status report. And next thing I know, oh my gosh, yeah, I did not finish. So for those of you who did and posted a picture in the FO thread, then you will be eligible for prizes. And I will be announcing that right after the segment. The second knit along I want to talk about is our new one, which is the Tweed Grows in Brooklyn KAL, which is starting on April 1st. I had originally thought about doing it for 2 months, which would lead us to the end of May. But I think because there's so many great, amazing sweaters that I know people are really interested in, I'm going to extend it by an extra month. We're going to make it a 3-month KAL because I figure that should be hopefully enough to bring us into summer. And by summer, we're going to not be wanting to knit sweaters unless you're in the Southern Hemisphere or have really good air conditioning. I know I want to try and finish mine before then. So there you go. So we're going to make it not for May 31st, we'll make it for June. So we've got some prizes, of course, and remembering that the KAL is for using any Brooklyn Tweed yarn, any Brooklyn Tweed pattern, and if you happen to do a Brooklyn Tweed pattern that's done by Michele Wang, you will get an extra entry. So you can combine those 3 things for up to 3 entries per finished object. So if you use a Brooklyn Tweed yarn and a Brooklyn Tweed pattern by Michele Wang, that's 3 entries. If you use another yarn and a Brooklyn Tweed pattern by Michele Wang, that's 2 entries. If you just use a Brooklyn Tweed yarn, that's 1 entry. If you use a Brooklyn Tweed pattern and another yarn, that is 1 entry. Clear as mud, right? Honestly, it's not that complex. In the chatter thread, which is now open on Ravelry, I've given a few more examples. So if you've got any clarification requirements, please do just ask. But I think if you read the thread first, you'll probably get an answer to your question. So you need to have it, it's at least a 1 skein project. With it, whips are permitted with a minimum of 50% left to go in the project. So let's keep it fair and equal for everybody to play. Prizes, you're curious. So the first prize will be an autographed copy of Michele Wang's Capsule collection for Brooklyn Tweed, along with a $25 gift card from Brooklyn Tweed, which will be delivered electronically. The second prize is a $25 gift card from Brooklyn Tweed and a pattern of your choice from BT. The pattern is only for individual patterns, not for books or collections. And the third prize is a pattern of your choice from Brooklyn Tweed. So there you go. Let's use our honor system as we play along. Everybody just wants to do a great fun thing with knitting, as I do. I hope everyone else does. And let's have some fun with it. I'm loving to see what you're thinking about for patterns. I'm going to continue working on my Radmere for sure, but if you're looking for some new inspiration, the new Yokes collection just came out from Brooklyn Tweed. I myself may or may not, well, there's no may or may not, I did purchase the Archer pattern by Jared Flood, which I love, love, love. I will probably make that once, if not twice, one for me and probably one for Sebastian, my partner, as well. So that's it for Knit Along news. Let's come back and quickly talk about Knitter's World. This week in Knitter's World, I'd like to talk about the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and I'll talk a little bit about my little side trip to Amsterdam. So we flew out Wednesday night last week, flew through Amsterdam to Edinburgh, where we were staying with some friends at their lovely flat. They're friends we've had for almost 10 years, but we've never seen them outside of when we traveled together. So it was kind of nice to do that. And got to hang out with some knitters the night before the Yarn Festival, had dinner, and then the Yarn Festival itself was absolutely lovely. The organization was tremendous. The Blacker Yarns was the sponsor of the Podcaster Lounge, which was great. Thank you so much to the Edinburgh Yarn Festival for supplying the podcasters with entry and a place to sort of land and crash and connect with our viewers and with each other, which was awesome. I got to meet some amazing people that I don't know if I would have ever necessarily had the chance to meet them. Andrew and Andrea from the Fruity Knitting podcast, and Helen Stewart from the Curious Handmade podcast, Mrs. Tilly Trout herself, I got to meet her. Who else did I meet? Oh gosh, I met so many people. Selma from Two Tangled Skeins was there. Shamika from the Knit Night with Shamika, or as I like to say, the Mika Mika Shop podcast was there. Kristen, of course, from Wool and Vine and Yarngasm podcast was there. My lovely birthday twin, Katie, from Inside Number 23 was there. And Charlotte from Charlotte and Gus was there. Like, it just, the list goes on. I had such a good time. So honestly, it was so lovely to connect with people in the environment. And after Vogue, which was tremendous again, it was awesome to see some new faces, meet some new people I'd not met before, like Nathan from the Sockmatician podcast, who is just lovely. And he's amazing. He lost his voice from teaching for 9 hours straight, but it was still nice to get to see him. I'm going to forget somebody inevitably, so I'm just going to say to all of the people who came to introduce themselves, you have no idea how much it means to me to know that you enjoy what I do and that it's worthwhile and that I'm not just sitting here talking to myself for, an hour at a go. So thank you so much. The venue itself was lovely. I honestly can't say enough about it. The shopping was great, and we'll get to that in a sec. I actually, for the first time at a yarn festival, I tired myself out from shopping. By the end of the second day, I was like, I can't look at things anymore. I was in the Jarn Auburn booth with Katie, and I just was like, no, you know what? I don't need anything more. I've got 2 full bags of yarn. That's a pretty good haul. So, it was amazing to see some of the new stuff that, really we don't get here, right? A lot of, like, Blacker Yarns doesn't distribute anywhere near where I'm from. I know I can get it if I order it, but it was nice to feel it and get to meet the people behind the yarn, which was just awesome. We also got to spend quite a bit of time with our friends. We went out to the pub on, I think it was Saturday night, and we got to see some of the rugby match, the Six Nations rugby match between Scotland and England. That was kind of cool. It was really, really nice. And as a city, it's gorgeous. I didn't get to see as much of the touristy things that I would have liked to have seen, but we will be back. Absolutely. I can't say for sure that we're going to go back for EYF next year. I'd like to. I just don't know if it'll fit into our travel plans as yet. So stay tuned. Of course, you will know from the podcast well in advance if I'm going to be somewhere. So that was really great. I got to meet, oh gosh, who didn't I meet? It was just awesome. I had the best time. And then we flew back to Amsterdam on the Sunday. Our connecting flight, it was going to make it really difficult to fly home to Toronto if we didn't fly back to Amsterdam on Sunday. So we flew back and immediately pretty much landed and I promptly lost my duffel bag full of laundry, which is all dirty laundry, so it's not like I didn't have clothes to wear. But I was a bit annoyed with myself. So to make myself feel better, sidebar on that, yes, I have a claim filed, and hopefully the transit company will find my bag and we'll make arrangements to have it shipped or whatever. I'm honestly not that fussed. Yes, I want my clothes back, but I'm not going to worry about it. I had a blast. And yeah, sometimes stuff happens, right? But to make myself feel better, I dragged Sebastian out to Stephen and Penelope and checked that out. And it's a lovely shop. It was really, really nice. A lot of great things in there. I did pick up a few more things. Just as I said, I was shopped out on the Saturday from the Edinburgh Yarn Fest. By Sunday night, I was ready to shop again. Let's face it, we all want more yarn. So that was cool, that was fun. It was nice to see. And then we did a canal tour in Amsterdam. We went for dinner. We stumbled across the red light district, which I wasn't really intending to do, but we kind of just walked through it. And then we flew home yesterday. So it was a long day. I'm a little jet lagged, not gonna lie. I was really thinking, do I have enough gusto and oomph to get a podcast recorded? And it turns out I do. So it does feel like it's sunny in the middle of the night for me right now, but that's okay. For you, I'm sucking it up and we're gonna get to it. So if you stay tuned to the end of this video, I'll be posting some clips of our time in Edinburgh and in Amsterdam as well. So I hear from a lot of you that you like seeing those. So that's where you'll see some of that stuff. Anyway, let's refresh our beverages and let's come back. And I think we're just going to talk about status report, and then we're going to really quickly get that out of the way, and then we're going to talk about the haul. So I know this is a little bit out of order. Normally I do status report before I do Knitter's World, but that's okay. We're just going to roll with it. So the only thing that I really knit on since I saw you last was the Radmere sweater. I did an extra couple of rows, I think, on the back. Not enough to really notice a difference since last time. But to take with me while I was traveling, I did take a sleeve. I figure that's a good thing to work with. So let me just pull this needle out a little bit more. There we go. So that's the start to the sleeve. I am, let's call it 40 rows in after the ribbing. And you can see it's got the same sort of central motif in the middle, and it's got the side braids, and then as you add the increases to the sleeves, you add more of these sort of side braids which go up the sides. You know what, guys? Oh, it smells so good. I love this yarn. It's a lot of fun. I do wish my Addy interchangeables were a little bit sharper. It would help with some of the increases when you have to knit through sort of the front or the back of the loop, depending on which thread you're picking up. But whatever, right? It is what it is. It's knitting. We do it. So anyway, that's not a huge amount. Frankly, I could have taken it with me more often, more places, but I was so enjoying conversations with people that it just didn't happen. I took it with me everywhere. Whatevs. So that's my status report. That's it. We're going to talk about the haul. So now it's time for the part I'm pretty sure most of you have been waiting for if my comments on Instagram have been anything to go by. So I'm going to start with books and patterns that I picked up. Then I'm going to talk about bag number 1. And then I'm going to talk about bag number 2. So the first thing I want to talk about is the new pattern for the Shetland Wool Week for this year. This was designed by Gudrun Johnson, who... I think it's in my other copy. Yes, it is. Who actually, I asked her to autograph for me. So I have 2 copies of this. It's a great hat. I'm really liking it. I may or may not have bought yarn for this already. Funny story, I was looking at the pattern on the flight back to Amsterdam whilst I was sitting on the plane. And there was a couple of lovely ladies sitting just behind me who were knitting one of these, which was awesome. So we got to chatting and, you know, as you do with knitters. I also picked up 2 patterns from Isolde, who I got to meet at her booth as well, which was a great highlight. It was a great thrill. The first one was the Cruden pattern for her vest. I've mentioned this one, I think, in a previous podcast. but I actually bought this one. The nice thing about what Isolde has done on her blog is she's actually given alternate color schemes for the pattern that she's done swatches, so you can sort of gauge what it's going to look like. So I may or may not also have picked up yarn to make one of these in an alternate color palette, not this one. So stay tuned. That will be bag number 3, no, 2. I don't have 3 bags. I have 3 bags full. Wouldn't that be great? 3 bags full. Whatever. Stupid. But I have 2 bags. That'll be in bag 2. I'll show you the colors for that. And I also picked up a pattern for her Belize. I guess they're not technically fingerless mitts. I guess they're fingerless gloves, maybe? Because they kind of have fingers, but I've always loved this pattern since she released it, and I just thought it was really cool. So I picked up that pattern. And I also picked up Inspired by Isla, which is the new book by Kate Davies. I've not picked up any of her patterns previously, but I thought this book was really cool. There's a number of amazing patterns in it that I thought were just really, really nice. I say amazing a lot, I know. Interesting to see how well written the patterns are now that we've been involved with issue 1 and now issue 2 of Rib. All the work that goes into a pattern, both the writing and the testing, and so I think it's a great addition to my library, and I'm thrilled to have that. So that was it for non-yarny goodness that I picked up. Oh, I picked up a cable needle because I lost one somewhere along the way, that sort of stuff. Like, I don't have enough at home, but I had to have one for the stuff I was working on, so that didn't work. So that's it for that. Let's take a quick break, reset the decks, and come back with bag number 10 yarn. And welcome back to the haul part 2. And I'm going to just say I need to apologize straight away that they're looks like back at doing construction outside. So if the microphone's picking that up, I'm sorry. Not much I can do about it. So you'll just, sorry, it is what it is. I hope you can sort of forgive me for that. Anyway, I'm going to just dip down into this bag and pull things out one at a time, and we will go from there. So the first thing I wanted to show you is I picked up this kit from Isolde, which is the Belize kit, which is her blend number 1, and also her dyed accessory yarn. This is, and I have to check the pattern. I'm really hoping, because I forgot to check, that this will do 2. I could be wrong. If I've only bought 1 glove's worth, I'll be really ticked at myself. It means I'll just have to order another one. So yes, it's enough. Yay. So that's enough to do 2 of the mitts. And so this one, this is the Ketterline colorway, and it has the contrast. So as opposed to having, which she also did have this colorway, I decided to go with this one. So really, really looking forward to making those. And honestly, today's the coldest day it's been, I think, in Toronto all winter, and I probably could have used them by now. So that was number 1. I also got to meet Tracy from Nora George, who gave me this wonderful, beautiful skein. This is called Thistle. This was her exclusive colorway for the Edinburgh Yarn Festival. And yeah, for 2017, this is 75% BFL, 25% nylon. Guys, the colors. Okay, so you're not ever going to see this. My camera never really focuses properly because it's not a proper camera. It's an iPhone. Anyway, I don't want to get it too crazy, but look at the purple and the green. Oh, I love it. So now I have to find a pattern that is kind of thistly inspired. So if you know a pattern that has sort of thistles in it or is Scottish, let me know. I'd be happy to hear from you. So now the bag is small enough I can kind of pull it back up here onto the desk. So I also picked up from Isolde a skein of her blend number 1. This is also Merino, Polworth, and Zwartbles as well. And it's so soft. It's really, really, really nice. I think I might make this into a cowl. It feels like it wants to be a cowl. So picked up one of those. And then I picked up from Kate Davies. I picked up her, and I don't know how to pronounce any of these things, guys. I'm really bad with that. I'm good with language. I'm not good with pronunciation. Anyway, it's Kate Davies yarn. Let's just go with that, okay? Someone else will know how to pronounce this and they'll tell me. So that is, I got 2. And this is in the Furts, I don't know. Let's just say it starts with an F and ends with an E. Not, any other letters. It is raised in Scotland, made in Yorkshire, and it's really, really nice. It's super springy and bouncy, and I kind of like it. And I'd love to make, her book has all the patterns are made in her wool, and I would love to have some of those larger garments made out of this, but whew, that would be a pricey garment. This stuff is not cheap, but I'm really, really liking it. I'm wondering, what do you think, guys? Good combo? Okay, so there's that, and it goes on. I also picked up 2 skeins of Tuku wool, which is, of course, the Iceland. Is it Icelandic? It's Finnish wool. 80% Finnish wool, 20% nylon. This is in the Repo colorway, and I got 2. So this is their sock yarn, and it feels very crunchy right now, but I did get a chance to feel the blocked socks that they made out of it, and it felt really nice. These are the kind of things, these would be sturdy winter socks, the kind of things I would want to wear in my hunters if I'm going out sort of for a walk and it's a bit slushy and gross out. This will be my go-to. I think I'm going to do my October socks out of these because that'll be the perfect time of year for those. But it's really, really nice yarn. It is dyed over a natural color that is quite variegated. It's got sort of lights and darks in it, so you can kind of see. I have to look over because I need to see what I'm doing. There we go. It's got some good depth to it, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun to work with. So I like those. See, I don't buy all yellow and gray, just mostly. All right, so then I picked up from Blacker Yarns. Like I said, Blacker Yarns was the sponsor of the podcast lounge. And so their booth was right next to it, which was kind of convenient because it was good to pick up some good stuff that I'd not seen before. And they have this line that is all breed specific. So I picked up 2 of my favorite BFL. This is undyed. It's all natural. It's worsted spun BFL, and it's in the natural fleece color. And, oh, it feels so, so nice. This might need to be a hat of some description. Don't know what it is. This is their DK weight, so I think I might end up doing another Burnaby hat out of these because that was really fun too. I liked making that hat a lot. So that's the blacker breeds. So I got 2 of those. And the beat goes on. I'll show that in a second. So I did also stop at the booth for, everyone seemed to have a favorite, and like all the people I talked to, and this booth was crowded like crazy. And that was the La Bien Aimée. Hopefully that will focus. It won't focus. Go and focus. There we go. Anyway, this, I had to have this color. This is in Merino Singles. This is called Yellow Brick Road. Look at that color. Isn't that amazing? I love it. I normally don't buy singles because I find I have a hard time using them for me, but I have a plan. My plan is this, that I kind of feel like I need to find my fade at some point, and this needs to go in it. I'm thinking an all Grello fade. I know, right? So that's going in it for sure. This, I think, will be the cornerstone colorway. I really like that one. Okay, Blacker Yarns again. This was a new base that they just launched. It's a silk blend, which, frankly, I didn't really, I don't know how to describe this. I'm not a big fan of silk blends for me specifically and for men in general because they're too shiny. They have a sheen to them, and this one does not. This one, Samite, sorry about the label, it got a bit squished in the bag. Just launched, and this is Swallow's Soar is the color. This is 20% silk, 80% wool. And I was talking to Sonia, who works at Blacker, and she was telling me that because this is woolen spun, not worsted spun, it avoids that sort of sheen development that happens. And some of the garments and samples they had done out of this were really, really nice. This one, again, is a gift, but she will have received this gift by the time this goes up, so I'm okay with that. Anyway, I love the color. I thought it was great, and I'm not sure. It's kind of true to life. It looks more purple on screen than it actually is. But it's lovely. They were also so kind to give me a sample and a shade card as well. So I've got another shade card. Remember I was saying you need shade cards, guys? There's a good example because you can't go by what's on screen. All right. The last in this bag are some amazing gifts that I was given by a viewer, Victoria, who had said that she would like to give me some things if she were to see me at the show. And we did. We saw each other almost right away. And she gave me 3 skeins of something I'd never worked on before, which is Drops Fable. And I have 2. Ta-da! And now these specifically are for socks for Sebastian, because poor Sebastian doesn't have any socks. So, well, he does, but not any hand knits. Because the one I kind of made for him, I took back because I like to wear them. So, oh well. She also gave me a complementing color, which, I'm not going to lie, this might actually need to go into my fade if it happens. Because, let me start pulling some of these together. Grello. Now, I don't think I'll put in any of the other ones. The other ones are different weights anyway. But that's the sort of start to it anyway. But she also gave me one, which is Young Yarns. That's the tag. That's the color. This is 80/20 Superwash Merino, 20% nylon, high twist sock. This one is called Golden Rays. And look at those colors. Isn't that lovely? It's almost like bordering on peachy, sort of, there's some cantaloupe kind of color in it. I love this. It's really beautiful color. So, as we start to pull some of this together, I'm thinking of fade. Anyway, so that's it for bag 1. As if that wasn't enough, I have an entire second bag to go through. Whew, let's take a breather and come back for part 3. Okay, y'all, it's time for part 3. Part 3 is actually, it's a little easier and a little bit harder to go through. Because part 3, I picked up all of these at Pearl Essence. Pearl Essence is a wonderful place that had a great booth that was very, very popular because they carried Jameson and Smith and a lot of it. But I think it all went because it was a really, really good value. And literally, this entire bag is full of Jamesons. I don't remember which colors I picked for what, but I will say this. I bought colors for the Cruden vest and for the new Shetland Wool Week hat. And I will put pictures up here of what the Cruden colorway looks like that I selected. And we're back with the sirens. Oh, maybe we're done. Okay, so a lot of these are put together in the same color, so I'm just going to pull them out. And my floors are clean. They're going to get popped on the floor as soon as I get them out. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's go again. So, I don't know if these colors are actually, if anyone's going to care, write them down. I will put them in the show notes, which we'll talk about in a sec too. We have a whole bunch of these. This, I believe, is the body color of the Cruden. That's actually the main color. It's sort of a bluey gray. Those can just go there. Oh, there's another one. We've got this beautiful yellow. We've got green, sort of a gray-green color. We've got some turquoise. Oops, sorry about that. Gosh, I'm going to knock the camera over. We've got some more types of greens. I think most of those are going for... actually, I think the color of the hat, the main color of the hat is going to be those. So I'm pretty sure that the vest is more green. Ooh, and then we get into, there's a little pop of this sort of copper color. And then we've got a whole bunch more. Are these all the same color? Yeah. A whole bunch of brown that's going in. So I'm pretty sure more brown and more brown. So if you're curious, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. I have 22 of these that are, if you've never smelled them, they smell amazing. I don't get people that don't smell their yarn. How can you not smell your yarn? Oh, so good. Anyway, before I get all, on my yarn, I'm pretty sure that the hat is in, what did we say? I think it's in these. Am I wrong? No, that's not right. Maybe it's in that. Oh, I think it's that. I'm pretty sure my hat is those. That's going to be the new Shetland Wool Week hat, which I have to start knitting up some hats, guys. I keep collecting all this stuff for making hats. No hair, you need a lot of hats. So that's it for all of the Shetland. Oops, yeah, forget it. It's going all over the floor. But look, they're all mine. Mine. They're all mine. Mine. Ah. Yeah, okay. Time to put down the yarn and come back with, yes, part 4 of the haul. Okay, I think I've calmed down from the Shetland fumes because I want to show you just the last 3 skeins that I bought, which I bought actually in Amsterdam at Stephen and Penelope. And I did buy a little bit of hedgehog. Of course, it's what one does. So I picked up this one, which is the Undercover Otter. That's the card. This is their Squirm Sock base in the Scumbot colorway. And it has all of these wonderful little speckles of purples, and there's turquoise and different shades of that. So these will be socks eventually for Sebastian when I get around to it. But he actually picked out this color, so that's kind of cool. I bought a second skein of Squirm Sock as well. This one, guys, I love this one. Look, it's gray. I just said, oh, I don't buy everything that's in gray or yellow, but I kind of did. So now I've got this one. This is the Uncle Fester colorway from the Addams family, of course. So now I left this here. So now we can start to see. Oh, I'm seeing a Grello fade coming on. That's going to be awesome. I have one skein that's in my stash that I think is just variegated enough between Grellos to really make all this work. So that's going to be my fade, I think. I think I need actually 6. I've got lots of yellow and lots of gray. But I picked up one last one, which is Hedgehog. This is actually a potluck colorway. This does not have a particular name because it's a one-of-a-kind. And let's face it, Stephen West is a bit of a one-of-a-kind. So I figured it was only fitting. And that is the color. I'll turn around the price tag because in case you don't want to see that. There you go. It's blues and it's purples and it's delicious and I just love it. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. It's going to look at those speckles. Speckles are so hot right now. I didn't buy it for the speckles. I bought it because I really like the colors. It's going to go into something. What? Who knows? Don't care. I just had to have it. So that's it, guys. Whew. Are you exhausted? I know I am. That was a lot of haul to get through, which compared to previous hauls, I'd say I still did more damage at my first Vogue, but I feel really, really pleased that I got a lot of good stuff. I got stuff that is from Amsterdam, from that trip. I got a one-of-a-kind potluck from Hedgehog. I got some Drops Fauble. I got some new Blacker. I got Kate Davies. I got Isolde. I got Daughter of a Shepherd. I'm looking through my list. I got Nora George. Guys, I'm really, really pleased. I think I did really well. And of course, my tons of Shetland that I just can't wait. Is it wrong that I want winter to last another 6 months so I can knit all this? Yeah, I think it's kind of wrong. But whatevs. It is what it is. So that's it for this week. I'm going to follow this up with some of the video that I took while I was in Edinburgh and in Amsterdam. Thank you so much for joining me. I very, very much appreciate the time that you spend. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Show notes. So My compromise that we did last time and we're going to continue doing is there will be show notes below. There will also be show notes on the Ravelry group. If you can't find the Ravelry group, just do a search for Sticks Plus Twine. Go into Ravelry and you'll see the nice little join this group button. That's how you join the group. When will I be recording next? Well, this weekend is coming up on Sebastian's birthday and my mother-in-law is coming into town for that, so I won't be recording this weekend. The following weekend I will be away as well, traveling, so I will try and squeak out a little something, because then the following weekend I will be traveling to the Middle East for an extended holiday. So to all those people that think that I'm always on holiday, well, you're not really wrong, but I would rather say I'm always traveling, and shouldn't we always aspire to be traveling and learning new things and seeing new places? I know I do. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to hit the subscribe button. And if you didn't, you know what? There's a billion places to go and spend some time. Enjoy. There's something different and unique for everyone out there. So that's it for this time. Have a great night and happy knitting.
It's crazy.